joining us to answer some of these is former State Department official Mike Benz. Mike, what a pleasure to have you on. You're able to more technically put into words how I think most of us feel. We're looking at this face of this alleged assassin, and it's hard to believe that he has zero digital footprint or next to zero digital footprint. Normally, people of this type of craziness have some hint somewhere on the internet. What gives?
Absolutely does. Even just on the panel, what you just put, that he had a Discord account. The thing you talk about on Discord is what's happening on Reddit and what's happening on X and what's happening on the internet. I mean, that is what Discord effectively does. Discord is effectively a gaming server to be able to interact with other people online. That's what the whole platform exists for. We know that the FBI was at the shooter's house for about 4 hours before they disclosed the name, late in the night at about 2 a.m. And it seems to me highly likely that they were seizing all the electronics. By the way, if they were in that person's house, that means that they have that person's IP address where they were routing in from, and should theoretically be able to therefore tell us the entire internet history, all the way down to the shooter's search history if they have his IP address. Now, I'm not advocating that things of that minute a detail would be disclosed in such a case, but absolutely the social media accounts. You know, the crowd is a far better investigator than the cops. We know this because the cops, so to speak, the FBI, asked the crowd for help to identify January 6th suspects. They turned to Capitol hunters, to sedition hunters, to Unicorn Riot, to a dozen different Antifa groups to identify and do the sort of forensic investigation that federal investigators feel understaffed to do, or to even to be able to follow hints and leads that the internet can dig up because of the ability to have so many different researchers pursue rabbit holes essentially in detail. But you know, the FBI is where evidence goes to die. Just as they have not disclosed a single video file of the January 6th pipe bomber since September 2021. We are coming up now on 3 years since a single video file of the guy who walked around on foot for 90 minutes through the fortress of the Capitol home turf of the national security state, Capitol Hill, for 90 minutes, talking on a cell phone. The FBI then told us that he and he alone this pipe bomber was the only person whose cell phone data was corrupted, as opposed to the fact that they were able to geofence to target 1,500 different January 6 folks. But by the way, who was in charge of securing the DNC building that Kamala Harris arrived at the morning of January 6 ahead of time? It was the Secret Service. And what happened to the Secret Service's cell phone records when they were subpoenaed by Jim Jordan? They were all deleted. So DHS and the Secret Service, they deleted the cell phones of the Secret Service when they were the ones who were supposed to have caught the January 6th pipe bomber. They were supposed to have cased the place out. They missed a pipe bomb sitting on the park bench to the entrance of the building. They didn't even disclose the remainder of the DNC. Right now, if there are any members of Congress, any members of the Oversight Committee or Judiciary Committee listening to us, if you can subpoena the chain of custody for the missing January 6th pipe bomb DNC tape, they literally had a stationary camera of him approaching the park bench, but then they cut the camera off, the FBI did, right before he reaches into the bag to pull out the pipe bomb. So the fact that the FBI has magically stepped in and taken over a local Pennsylvania investigation and have effectively, I believe, are keeping his social media accounts effectively embargoed, and who knows if we will ever get them. God willing, we will. But this is the same FBI that is not disclosing the Biden-Hur tapes. You know, the same Justice Department. The FBI is the intelligence arm of the Justice Department, and they told us that they weren't going to release the Hur tapes, defying a congressional subpoena because the internet might post misinformation about it. They did the same thing with the Covenant Killer shooting, and there's so much more here, but I'll pause.
Let's bottom line it, folks. The FBI, CIA, the deep state, Biden administration. There's evil lurking in these groups. We've seen it over and over, arresting lawyers, witch hunts against Trump, hiding evidence, creating evidence, faking pipe bombs. And now, who knows who this shooter was? Do you think it's possible someone of this ill repute put him up to it? Seems to have had plenty of help. Something's going on, which means Trump is still in danger. Peace out.